another podcast.
Sick.
Hell yeah, give it up, everybody. Sugarshack Podcast, your Reggae Rise Up 2022. Thanks for making it to day 3. You look good, you look tired, but you look good. Hey, we're excited. We just wrapped up a killer session with Iration. Give it up if you enjoyed that. Can't wait to see that on the channel. Thank you guys for taking the time to do that. It was special.
That was fun.
Thanks for having us.
And now we just wanted to sit down for a few minutes and just chat with you. Thank you also for taking a little extra time and just breaking down a little bit of your lives and your music career, and it's an honor. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Happy to be here.
So Florida's hot. You're back. Where are you coming from?
Straight in from the West Coast, direct flight from Los Angeles on Wednesday. And we had a rehearsal on Thursday because we haven't played music in like a month plus. So
But yeah,
we
we've
decided
been
to freshen up.
We've been
Nice.
sitting on a couch in the studio for the last few weeks, though. But much like
cool.
this, just
We've been working on new music, so that's always good.
Hell yeah. That's exciting, right? Anybody
Yes.
excited for new Iration music? Come on.
New single
Aw,
coming up
yeah.
very sooner than you think, I think.
Okay, cool. Sooner than we think. Awesome. All right, well, I mean, this is really your first experience on the kind of Sugarshack vibe. I'd love to hear just your raw reactions and just experience. What do you think?
I miss that kind of like vibe of music, you know, because
Mm-hmm.
it's so intimate, and we're always like with in-ears and the crowd's further away, so it just feels good to be close to and like feel the energy and just, you know, vibe out together. So it was awesome.
You guys sounded great.
Yeah,
It was
I think you know, as a musician, that's kind of the paradox, if you will, of getting more successful, is that the crowds get bigger and you get further away, and the intimacy of those shows that you are, you know, when you're really falling in love with playing live music, it's the early days. You're in little clubs or like little tiny rooms, and everyone's packed in together, and it's hot and sweaty, and you're really able to connect. You're right there. The energy is like very palpable. So you kind of, when it gets to the bigger stages, you have to kind of manufacture a little bit more. So it's nice to kind of do things like this where we can see everybody, we can hear you guys. We're, you know, the energy is there, even in the middle of the afternoon, which is great.
Yeah.
So we love it.
And play songs that we might not have made it in our set tonight, so it's fun to jam
Yeah.
some stuff that we don't normally play. So
Yeah. That's awesome. I mean, that's a big part of what we do and why we do it, is just trying to reconnect, I think, artists to fans, but do it in a way that's, more up close and intimate. And it's just that Sugarshack vibe, sit down, chill out, acoustic session. And you guys absolutely crushed it. So thank you.
Thank
You
you.
too.
Thank you.
You
yeah.
too.
Thanks.
Yeah. You guys crushed it. You guys are awesome. I just wanted to take a few minutes. I would love to hear how you guys started as a band. I mean, what's the beginning of Iration?
So we were all going to school in Santa Barbara. We're from Hawaii, obviously. A lot of us went to high school together, and then we moved up to Santa Barbara, kind of go to school. And we met back up, and we kind of were like, everyone had instruments, and we're like, you know, let's just play some songs. And we started by playing reggae covers of songs that we liked.
Sure.
And kind of Revolution was actually coming up at the same time, so we were like, we were sharing equipment, and you know, if they were, we'd
Band
be like,
members.
oh, you're playing Friday night, okay, we'll play Saturday. If you play Saturday, we'll play Friday. It was like one of those where we wouldn't like step on each other's toes.
Yeah.
And so it was cool. And then it just started to kind of we just parlayed it from there. Pepper took us on tour in 2008, our first national tour.
Wow.
Yeah, House of Blues. It was the Playboys in Paradise tour. And then they left us on the East Coast, and they were like, okay, you guys got to route yourself back to the West Coast. So it was the Pepper tour was called Playboys in Paradise, and we were like, it was wonderful. We packed houses every night. You know, it was this great tour. And then when we had to route ourselves back across the country, like playing in front of like 3 people in dirt bars. So we called it the Gimps in Hell tour on the way back. We felt very underprivileged on the way back, but you know, that's part of grinding as a band.
Perspective, right? Yeah, it's
major
like
perspective
pride
moments
we
there.
get put back in check a little, right?
So yeah, but you know, that's how we did it, and we just kept going and kept focusing on our songs and the live set. And
Yeah. Do you think that was a contributing factor to you guys becoming successful? Like Pepper kind of taking you on and that first tour, was that helpful?
100%, because they really showed us how to operate on the road and how to not be rookies. You know, the learning curve was very steep.
Yeah.
Coach,
They
shout out,
had
Coach.
their
Trial by fire.
Their
just
tour
thrown in the
manager,
deep end.
they're not the tour manager, but their stage manager, Tech9, who works for Shawn Mendes now, but he would have like a stopwatch on the side stage, and we'd be like have to get off stage, and we had like I think we had 2 minutes total to get off this, like clear all our gear off the stage. So we're like, as soon as we finished the show, we're like, thank you. We're like rapping chords and like pulling everything out and like running off the stage with all our gear. But we did it. We got good at it. And then when you go on tour with other bands, they respect you being clearing off the stage and getting everything stays on time, and it's all good.
It's so cool that you guys got that experience, because I feel like you had a template early on, like, okay, this is something to grow towards and work towards it, like you had a vision for it and you were seeing it and you're like, all right, this is the road now,
I mean, the road turns and twists and changes, but you just kind of go with the flow, as they say, and just, stay open to whatever the universe hands you, and things happen that may seem like challenges, but they end up making you better and making everything works out for the better on the other side of it. So
awesome. Are there any bands right now in this scene that you kind of feel like, like how Pepper kind of took you guys on early on, and believed in you in some capacity like that? Are there any bands that you guys have your eye on right now that maybe, if you could, you'd like to help level up a little bit?
We've kind of done that like over the past 5 or 6 years. Like,
okay,
we took out Hours Eastly for a few tours of Florida band that we really liked, and then we've been taking Catastrophe out for years, and we love those guys. We've known them for a long time. I've been going to Arizona playing the shows with them for like a decade. So they're awesome and talented, and they just need that chance to keep going out there and getting in front of people.
Yeah, we're taking out Tropodelic and cashed out on our next tour in May. We're going to the
I think if you guys are excited about this tour, right? You want to share a little bit more about that?
The May tour, this is we have a spring tour, but we'll give you guys a little insight. We're gonna go out in the summertime with Atmosphere. So
sick.
That's not announced yet, but it should be in the next few weeks or days. So we'll let the people that are here for Sugarshack know that we're gonna go out with
nice.
Atmosphere in the summer.
Dropping the hot fire.
That's it. You come to the Sugarshack stage, you get the inside scoop.
But we're excited for this May
but
tour
don't
as
quote
well.
us on that.
Yeah. Cashed out inside. I mean, and Tropodelic, if we put any band that we bring out with us, that's like we're putting our stamp of approval on for the most part, that we back their music, and we think that they bring a good live show and a good vibe. So
that's awesome. Man, you guys have become such a successful band, and I know a big part of that is just writing amazing music. And so I'd love to know, what are some factors for you guys of like what makes a good song? What makes a chart-topping song when it comes to writing?
I mean, I just think it makes you feel something, it makes your emotions change in a way, either sad or happy or deep, and whether it's through melody or lyrics, there's like no formula. That's the cool thing about songs is they're all somewhat similar, but there's always going to be nuances of every song that are different. So I think that's the cool thing for me.
I think that's the case with art in general. Whether it's a painting or a photograph or a film or a song, it's at the end of it. How do you feel? Do you feel emotionally different, changed, better, worse, happy, sad? That's what art is there to do, right? It's help you to connect with your different emotions, and the emotion of whoever's singing the song or whoever's presenting it is a big part of it. And I think that's what we always just try to key on, is like, obviously we like to make songs that have a good melody and have lyrics that mean something, but at the end of the day, does this make you feel anything, and does it have a good feel, and does it have a good, does it put forth an emotion or an energy at the end of it?
Totally. Great. That's awesome. I was kind of looking online and stuff. You guys do NFTs. I'd love to hear more about the NFT project you guys kicked off. Yeah.
I'll let NFT guy over here.
No, well, we've like as a band we did very little so far. We've just kind of been like trying to be
test the waters a little bit.
Yeah, we try to just at least be educated on what's the next forefront, and we just think as a business it's going to be a tool we can use in the future. So when we did a little Time Bomb Gold certification NFT badge that you could get, I think they sold out pretty quick. But, as a band, I don't know what we'll do next. But, personally, I've kind of been getting into it just because it's fun. It's like a different way of getting crypto or trading or whatever, And so just dabbling. There you go.
Crypto guy.
Somebody got,
yeah. I think what's the most interesting thing about NFTs and in that whole zone for artists is that, with the rise of streaming and the Spotifys and of the world, the value of music has really been lessened to a very fractional amount of what it any other art form is, you know. And I think what it does is it kind of, there's the possibility of it reversing the value and giving the value of the art back to the artist, and letting the artist control the value of their art again, which is, for us, is great because we hit right after Napster, and we've been in the streaming age our whole career.
Right, and then from that it transitions to
yeah,
Spotify
and you know,
and Apple
we
Music.
tour with 311, and they were like, you know, they hit it in the 90s, and they were selling CDs. So that's a whole nother world of, you know, value in art, you know, when it was what's happening in those days. And so we get to see kind of the both sides of it.
It's like a digital version of that, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I do agree. It's a focus on the artist. There's not, you can cut out the middleman. You can build your own whatever you want if you get into that Web3 world.
And this is our TED Talk.
Yeah, I love it. That's why I asked, you know. And so as far as your business strategy, where does your Iration beer fit into that?
You know, we've actually been talking about that because we did that limited chill out.
Uh-huh.
But that brewery is very small, and we knew it was going to be a very limited thing. So we're talking about finding another brewery partner and doing a different beer.
Nice.
So that's definitely going to be happening. It's on the forefront. We got a few different things coming in 2022 that people will be stoked on. We got a CBD line. We have...
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we're talking about doing a strain. So we're going to try to just have some cool stuff for the fans to like check out.
I don't know if you guys have heard this. We just announced it yesterday on one of our podcasts, but you know, True Leave is one of our sponsors of the channel. And this upcoming Thursday, March 24th, we're launching our very own Sugarshack pre-roll called Sugarshack High Note. And so if you have your med card, you can go to any True Leave dispensary, and you can, starting this upcoming Thursday on the 24th, you can buy a Sugarshack custom pre-roll. So enjoy. But yeah, we're getting into the game. We're getting into the strain game.
Listen, smoke a high note.
High note.
Smoke a high note, and then put on Iration.
That's it.
And smear CBD on your arms and your joints. And then buy an NFT.
Yeah, right.
It's over.
Perfect Saturday right there.
The quadfecta is in effect.
That's it. Life can't get better. I got one last question, and then we'd love to turn it over to the fans for some Q&A. But you know, you guys have become, you know, rock stars in a lot of ways. What's the normal day lifestyle of a rock star?
At home or on tour?
Oh, let's do both. Because
they're very different.
Yeah,
they're similar, but you know, at home, you know, you wake up in your own bed.
Yeah.
Sick.
You use your own bathroom, B, which is always
Also nice.
Also sick.
You have some coffee that you brewed yourself in your own kitchen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that always helps. I think
Yes.
that's a good start to the day right there. And then, you know, it's either, if we're working on a record, we're going to the studio, we're walking the dogs, we're doing the chores, we're taking care of the little babies, in his case. And then, it's like just family time. You try to soak up as much family time when you're home because we take that for granted. And so when we leave, we know like we're missing home. So it's like when we're home, we're trying to live in the moment.
Yeah.
My rockstar day starts at about 4 a.m. when my daughter wakes up.
How old's your daughter?
She's about to turn 2.
Yeah, I have a 4-year-old.
So she wakes up at like 4 a.m. and my wife goes, "Can you go get her?" And so I go up and then I walk in the room and I get the baby and then I bring her in our bed and then she wakes up at like 6:30 and cries. And then we're up and we watch. We don't watch Elmo in the morning unless it's a weekend. And then I make her a lunch and take her to school. And then I go to the studio or hit some golf balls.
Nice.
Try to write some music at some point during the day, just so I feel like I'm contributing to society in some way.
Sure.
Do
life
the
is-
Wordle. You know, very rock star life.
Yeah.
Tour life is very different, though.
Tour life, you try to go to bed late and wake up late just because, for me at least, try to be up almost last every night just because then I can sleep later in the morning when we're already driving because I don't sleep the best when we're driving. He can sleep like a rock at any point, but
Nice.
So I try to sleep after we park for as much as I can to rest up, and then it's like sound checks at 1 or 3 and lunch is at noon.
It used to be a lot wilder, I promise.
It's very mundane.
Well, no, I mean, you've been in it so long, right? So you've learned a lot, right?
Yeah.
In like now you're in it for the long haul, so it's about balance and health and longevity.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
treating your body
At some
well.
point, your liver pops up and goes,
Yeah.
you can't do this like this forever, brother. And then you got to listen to your liver.
Uh,
10 years ago, yeah, this would be a different answer probably, but
Yeah, right. Sure. No, it's good. Different stages, right? Different seasons of life call for different things and
Exactly,
activities. So
exactly.
that's why I asked. That's awesome. Q&A. Anybody got a question? What's up? Who's your inspiration? Scott asks,
God.
who's your inspiration? Yeah.
you first.
Well, growing up in Hawaii, we had a very different mix of music. So the radio was there was a lot of reggae. It was, Alpha Blondie and Bob Marley and UB40 and Steel Pulse and things like that were on the radio. But also like adult contemporary like stuff like Wilson Phillips and like crazy shit like that. So
Nice.
yeah,
I hear it now. I hear it all coming together now.
It's a real weird blend in my brain. If you go in there, you'd be disturbed at some of the stuff. But
It's what makes the magic. It's what makes
no,
the
I
magic.
think that's what makes I think our band really interesting is that everybody has very different tastes.
Cool.
Adam is like very roots reggae to the core. He also kind of likes some indie stuff, and then Casement also very reggae. Joe is like comes from the school of like punk and metal. Our drummer. MB also kind of more of a hardcore guy in the early stages, punk and
Some of your favorite hardcore bands.
Ooh, have you ever heard of Better Than 1,000?
Better than 1,000. No, but Nick probably
Super,
has. Is Nick
super,
around here?
super. Singer of Youth of Today, different
Okay.
band, but like
Cool.
I like that old school straight edge New
Yeah.
York stuff and like a lot of California punk, like Strung Out and Good Riddance and No Use for a Name.
Nice.
And then my dad I grew up listening to blues and classic rock with my dad too. So like
Cool.
a lot of that stuff, Delta blues, Chicago blues, Mississippi blues, all the good stuff.
Nice.
So that informed my guitar playing at least, and my kind of folky style was
Nice.
grew
It's awesome.
from that. Yeah.
Other questions? What's up? Oh, what's the greatest compliment you get from fans?
Mustache and beard. No.
Mustache and beard.
yeah. I mean, anything about my physical appearance is nice. No, I think it's when somebody tells you that your music has. I mean, this is kind of heavy, but some people have, we get it once every a while where somebody tells you that your music saved their life or
Yeah.
helped them through a really dark period in their lives, and it's like you don't even when we're making these songs, we're not thinking that far down the line. We're just like trying to make a good song that makes you feel good. And then when we put it out there, it becomes its own thing, and it's basically we're handing it over to you guys to interpret it and take it however you want to, and it's at that point it's yours. And so when people are affected like that in a positive way or a way that helps them get through a hard time, whether that's something that seems serious or not so serious, whether it's just helping them in general, it's always like, for me, I'm just like, whoa, like you kind of lose track of that sometimes, and
Yeah.
when they bring it back to you and you go, holy shit, like we're actually doing something good for the world up here, and it's not just sitting on a tour bus and waiting for our show the showtime to happen, and then doing
Nice.
a podcast.
Somebody's jamming behind us on a boat.
And my pet peeve is having two different
I
songs
know there's
happening
a
at one
lot
time.
going on
I'm
up here. We got time for one more question right here. What's your favorite album you've created and why? It's a great last question. Way to wrap it up.
Well,
I like Coastin', honestly. Like I think we're just coming into our stride creatively with that one, and like it was just came together really nice. I think the next one that we're doing might be the new favorite though, like based on how it's coming out so far.
That's awesome.
But I think I think where we're at, like creatively and professionally, we're just kind of refining that, and so I think hopefully you strive to make your best album every time you put out an album.
Yeah.
I think your favorite and what we think is our best is two different things, maybe. Like I think we're playing the best music. Like we're playing the best as a band right now that we have played in our whole career, and I think we're playing like Coastin' is the best songwriting that we've done in our career, and performing wise, and but Time Bomb is always going to be an album that for us got us our career going, and we had thank you. We got we had two gold records from that album that
it's amazing.
Have helped us cement our
like foundational
career,
so that you can do some of what you're doing now. Yeah,
that was a huge record for us in our career, and so obviously it has to hold some sort of special place in our heart. And obviously the fans still love this, still love Time Bomb. Like it, came out over 10 years ago.
It's awesome.
But
it's a classic. It lives on now. It's a hit. All right, I'm sneaking one more in. This is from the Sugarshack crew. When are we getting you guys to a session in Bonita Springs, Florida? A proper Sugarshack session. Do you want to see that happen?
Are Bonita fish big?
I'd say this summer probably. I mean,
summer.
as long as we have the day off to do it.
Hell yeah, guys! All right, we'll see what happens. Hey, thank you guys so much for just taking the time to chill with us. And
thank you,
everybody.
We love you so much.
See you
later. Give it
later.
up one more time for Iration. Thanks so much, Sugarshack family. We'll see you next time on another episode of our podcast. Take care.
Sit back, relax, 'cause it's time for another podcast.